What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today. In particular, my focus is Sandbox. Big tech is trying to take over the Metaverse, and Sandbox co-founder has come out in opposition. So I'm going to dive into that along with some stuff that's happened in the news. As I said, with central banks, it was inevitable that they'd start speaking negatively about crypto at some point. Happened today. Said it yesterday, it happened today. Before I get into that, as always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. If you'd have invested $100 to each one when I release the videos and you're still holding those bags, you'd be in profit for 43 grand. I held them all. These were originally in my portfolio. My portfolio is very different now. If you want to see exactly what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto. Recently, we've had big wins. In fact, everyone in Copy My Crypto that was able to got hold of HODL Finance for like $500 worth of HODL Finance. Just because, and all they had to do was a little clickety clack and follow some instructions and job done. Nice free money. And there's going to be more opportunities like that down the line for sure. Whenever I spot them, I'll be sharing them. So if you want to be part of that as well, then like I said, check out Copy My Crypto. The big thing that I keep reiterating is a bear cycle will come. A true bear cycle where we see significant corrections, not just 20% or 30%, but 60, 70, 80%. So make sure you bank in profit, but more than that, make sure you start to eye up the cryptos that you're really interested in, because when they retrace, they will retrace dramatically. I have a list of cryptos that I think over the next 5 to 10 years are going to be absolute monsters. So I'm watching for the development in the tech, the development in the team, who they onboard within their projects, whether it's other projects, and how much they retrace, and that's going to inform my decisions in investing. And I'll be letting all the Copy My Cryptos members know when I think there's a coin that's going to 20, 40, 50, 100x. So again, if you want to know what they are, check it out. Right, let's start with the FUD. Told you, bloody told you. I said it yesterday. Bank of England, guarantee it. When they come out and they're speaking to reporters, one thing they'll say is, cryptocurrency could lose everything. Literally watched my video yesterday. I said it. And today, he was talking about cryptocurrencies. Said at the present, about 0.1% of UK households' wealth was in cryptocurrencies. About 2.3 million people were estimated to hold them, with an average amount per person of £300. He stressed that cryptocurrencies have been growing fast, with people such as fund managers wanting to know whether they should hold part of their portfolio in crypto. Their price can vary quite considerably, and they could theoretically or practically drop to zero. The point, I think, which one worries, is when it becomes integrated into the financial system, when a big price correction could really affect other markets and affect established financial market players. It's not there yet, but it takes time to design standards and regulations. We've actually got the regulatory framework to contain the risks. That's the goal. So, at least to be fair, it's an assessment of, we do need to look at getting involved. As in, actually, even if it's regulating or whatever, but no one, us that are in crypto, we don't care about it affecting your established financial markets because they were here to disrupt in the first place. And by the way, it will be the reverse anyway. When those massive financial markets have a crash, it will crash everything. Crypto is still too small to have a massive impact on those kind of things. But yeah, Bank of England, as always, negativity. So screw them. Let's get rid of them. Right, inflation has gone wild. America has actually got the third highest in the world. 6.2% on the consumer price index. That is mad in terms of inflation. 6.2%. And bear in mind as well, it's actually worse than that when you realize that that the producer price index is 9.6%. Futures moved lower after the November reading of the producer price index showed a year-over-year increase of 9.6%. That is staggering. Economists only believed it was going to be 9.2. It's massive. We've seen drops in prices in the S&P 500 futures, the NASDAQ 100 futures, the Dow Jones average slipped. We saw Tesla drop, Ford drop you know, we're going to accept that in the level of inflation is going to have serious problems, particularly when the producer price index is that high. And the producer price index, if you're unaware, is just wholesale. So basically the wholesale costs. That's a very simplified version, but yeah. Now, even with all of this, there's some interesting news coming out of Bitfinex. So they've said that there are a number of conspicuous signs that the market believe Bitcoin and USD the Bitcoin is set to gain. The Fed's going to be delivering information tomorrow on future asset purchases, with the expectation that obviously bond purchases and stuff are going to end on June 2022, although that's always been effectively the plan. There are a lot of economists and others speaking about dropping it or decreasing it even further and sooner, but it was always going to happen. So this is effectively a form of quantitative easing, but they're also going to be looking at inflation at the meeting, and bets are rising about the knock-on impact for both crypto and traditional markets. Their data is actually suggesting a buy the news event, not a sell the news event. So it seems to be that people are looking for entry points into the market at the moment, but more than normal, you know, we usually have a buy the rumor, sell the news scenario. But in this regard, because obviously markets have been a bit tentative, it looks like it's a buy the news event where effectively people are waiting on confirmation. In the same way that there are a lot of people waiting on confirmation of Bitcoin breaking around 53 grand before starting to build on positions. We're seeing negative funding across the board. Now that excuse me, that tends to be a good entry point for when you're buying. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. William Clement actually pointed out that pair that with the illiquid supply about back at yearly highs and some large Bitfinex bids coming in, he's just waiting for 53k to start bidding, happy to miss some of the move and essentially pay for confirmation. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're probably looking at. A buy the news event, if it's a positive news event, obviously. And we'll see, may see a rally. But it's one I'm not expecting great news coming out of the Fed. Not seen it for a while, and I don't think necessarily anything's going to. I don't think they're going to be able to suppress the inflation at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. Right, before I get into the big news about the Sandbox, shout out to our sponsor, OKEx. So OKEx have the lowest trading fees knocking about. This is one that you guys will want to check out right now. If you're new to the exchange and you want to actually try and practice, they have a demo trading. So this is on this site. You can see this is a guide to OKEx's demo trading tool for simulated trading. We've got a video that runs through it, and you can actually switch when you sign up to demo trading mode, and that will allow you a trading simulation practice. So you can see how it works, and you can play around, and you can get used to it. You're trading with virtual money, not real money. So it gives you an idea of how you can actually build your skill set, practice looking at your charts, and figure out where you want to get in and see if you can start making a profit. Because if you can start making a profit with your virtual money, you might be able to translate that into your real trades. On top of that, OKEx has got a really, really good DeFi section that we're seeing grow more and more and more. In fact, their DeFi section now has an NFT marketplace that is awesome. Really worth checking out here. You know, you can see top collections of CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, and Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs, and so on and so on. And the Sandbox, which I'm going to be speaking about in a second. You've also got your Cool Cats NFTs as well. And this is, again, if you're looking at trading into NFTs, this is a nice opportunity to have a play around and look at the marketplace and see what you think is going to be the next big trend. On top of that as well, they've got GameFi. GameFi is beautiful. These are the crypto games that that effectively you can earn money through when you're playing them, whether it's Axie Infinity or Celestial. You've got Land of Strife. They've even got Farm Hero. There's Crypto Gladiator as well. These blockchain games you can go through. You can start buying up these assets. And again, if you think these are the future, this is a place to go. OKEx has definitely got an ecosystem for traders and investors that are growing constantly. This is one to check out, guys. Right. Sandbox. The Sandbox wants to defend metaverses against big tech. This is bloody important. For me, this is one that we want to pay attention to. Sandbox co-founder Sebastian Bourget, I'm not sure, wants to defend the metaverse from big tech giants. Obviously, we've seen the news of Facebook's rebrand to Meta. Meta are looking to join the metaverse. He explains that the major tech companies could threaten the decentralization as their business model goes completely against decentralization. We know this. He said that it's not about the competition, rather more about the decentralized future. Tech giants have a monopoly over Web 2.0, something Web 3.0 tech, such as the metaverse and crypto, are trying to break. He explained, we don't think those companies can build something truly fun that's catered to the users because they've been so focused on their key business model and how to satisfy shareholders rather than satisfy users who own the asset, who own the governance of their own platform. And that's one thing that is beautiful within crypto. The governance models that are in place in multiple different cryptos, it means you hold that token, you have a share of ownership, you vote on what's next to come, not one person at the top of the pyramid that's making the vote. Fundamentally, if we start seeing Facebook take over, Meta take over the metaverse, all of those decisions fundamentally will end up coming on in terms of the development, how it moves forward, will come from Zuckerberg. It won't come from you or I. And the decentralization model is something that some people are here for quick money. Some people are here for long-term investments. Some people are here because they want to participate in the next step in the evolution of the tech that we use. And having a say, having that governance token to vote is a wonderful thing. And also, make no mistake about it, fundamentally, we see billions of people that use Facebook, Meta, right? We see billions of people that use these big tech's tech, right? So if Microsoft start getting in, or Apple, right, half the planet use some form of either of their tech, and they will all of a sudden have a massive sort of stronghold on the metaverse, and that will have an impact. Fundamentally, that will have an impact on the prices of Sandbox or your Decentralands or any of the other metaverse tokens that are going to be around. Your networks or your ones that have barely even appeared yet. And we don't want to see that. I firmly agree with the co-founder here. This is not something I want to see. And unfortunately, it's something I expect to see. One thing I don't, because I've said this in the past, one thing that I expect out of the metaverse is that ends up being integrated into our lives. We're going to have people working in offices meeting other people that they work with in offices in the metaverse for a cup of coffee in a business meeting in the metaverse. That's going to be the point that we're at. Now that will happen in my lifetime. We'll see that. And I'd want to see if people are gonna do that, which I don't even like it as a concept personally, but if people are gonna do that, that's no problem. But let's hope that they're doing it through something like Sandbox or something like Decentraland or something, that's maybe not even been created yet, but not another big tech based project that runs the planet. And fundamentally as well, you're not going to make the profit off it. If you have a share in Facebook, your share in Facebook is not going to make the profit that your coin, your Sandbox coin made this year, or that your Decentraland coin made this year. You know, you want the decentralization is something that we all want to participate in because it's disrupting systems in place that have been in place for our lifetimes that don't work, that fail us. However you feel about banking, it's failed. I think most people aren't positive about banking because it's failed us on so many occasions. And the problem is it's meant to be the safe haven. It was always meant to be the place you put your money, and it failed so many of us. And again, say what you want about crypto. But crypto, you know there's a risk in crypto. And at least then, you take the, you know, if your investment doesn't play out, you take the hit, right? Because you know there's a risk. There was never meant to be a risk with banks, and they played with our money and they screwed us. And big tech do the same thing, but they just do it with our data. We do it with our personal information. We don't want big tech being the source of the metaverses that we use in our lifetimes, because it will not only wreck so many of those decentralized projects, but it will stifle innovation down the line for a lot of them because they won't be able to get a foothold on the metaverse market because it will be overrun by yet again another big firm. Something of genuine concern, and something worthwhile bearing in mind, particularly moving forward, because they will take a hit price-wise. Maybe not long term, because if people are always using them, they'll be fine. But yeah, I am very, very much on board with the sentiment there, as I hope we all are, really. Anyway, that's it from me. If you're new to crypto, check out Copyright Crypto. Like I said, we've had some good wins recently. Literally, like a day ago, an airdrop of $500 to a number, well, to all the Copyright Crypto members, as long as they did the little clickety clack and followed the instructions. It's nice free capital. There's lots of free capital as well. Maya airdrop, I know, ended up being very profitable for a ton of the Copyright Crypto members because they knew the information beforehand to get in. If you want to know the information beforehand to get in, then you want to check it out. Anyway, take it easy. Bye-bye.